What is going on, guys? It is your coffee addicted gamer, DOUCHES here, and my apologies if I sound a little nasally. It is awfully early in the morning right now. So, what are we going to talk about? I didn't make a video on the PlayStation 4 kicking Microsoft's ass in the conference because I felt enough people fucking did it already. And, you know, it's like a map pack being released for Call of Duty. Everybody jumps on it. I'm not into that shit anymore. And I felt there was no point in doing any other videos. There are plenty of people doing it. No point in me doing those things. But I'm sure a bunch of you have already seen the clip. I'm going to roll it here right now.
Fortunately, we have a product for people who aren't able to get some form of connectivity. It's called Xbox 360.
Right. So stick with 360. That's your message if you don't, like it?
If you have zero access to the internet, that is an offline device.
Alright, so you just saw the clip. And now you know why the title of the video is what it is. Because that was a really douchey thing to say. The president of Microsoft saying that. Like, that's his reasoning for, or that's his response to people that don't have internet. If they're if you want, I'll put a link to the entire interview from Game Trailers, where he was actually reading. I'm sure he wasn't reading. I'm sure somebody was relaying the messages of other people reading blogs about people serving and being kept up in submarines and don't really have good internet access or none at all. So he's like, I can totally relate. And then he goes on and he's like, yeah, that's why we have the Xbox 360. Duh. Like, why else would we have it? You don't have internet? Sorry, you're missing out on the next gen. For the next decade, you're fucked until you get an internet connection. Have fun sticking with what'll, you know, end up being fucking 16-year-old hardware. That was the answer. That is so cunty McCunterson. Totally uncalled for. Like, I wasn't even really salty about Microsoft doing the things they did. For one, the online DRM thing, that really doesn't bother me. It never has. Why? Steam does it. You know what you're getting into with Steam. You know what you're getting into with Xbox. They came out and said it. Not really a big deal. And Sony didn't do it this generation around, but I guarantee you next one, it'll be like that. You know, that kind of thing is inevitable due to piracy and whatever other reasonings they have. They can make up anything. But it's just going that way, especially towards digital distribution. The other thing, the used game thing. Not really a big deal. I can't remember the last time I bought a used game or even sold a used game. I don't know anyone who buys and sells used games. Back in the day we all did, but nowadays it's really not that common, so I don't, at least around the people I know. So I don't know why people get so up in arms, especially, which I thought was cool, you can share your game by just giving. I mean, when you share your game, you give it to one of your friends. So like if I buy a game, I could give it to someone, they can have the disc, and I can have the installed version, and we both get a game for the price of $60 fucking dollars. That's $30 each. That's pretty cool. And PlayStation was like, well, it's gonna be like it's always been, which is fine, totally cool with that. But I'm saying, I mean, Xbox's implementation, or their response to the no used game thing, I kind of liked. It fucked GameStop really goddamn good, but I'm not GameStop, so I could really care less, because they're going to die eventually. It's just where they are, like the post office. It's gonna die. You're just running out the clock at this point. So that's that. But I don't... Oh, the only thing I really don't like about the Xbox that, you know, I can get up in arms about is the Kinect being required to be on. You can turn it off, but it still has to be plugged in, which, if they wanted to, they could remote access it and turn the mic on and the camera. So that's what I'm not very okay with. And I'm also not okay with the price point. $500 is a lot of fucking money for something I would only get for exclusive titles. Because everything I saw, for the most part, with the exception of things like Dead Rising, are all also on the PC. And Destiny 2, I guess, but that's still they don't know if it'll be on PC, but more than likely it will because it's an MMO. So the only reason I didn't even get a 720, wow, an Xbox One is for the exclusives, and there aren't that many amazing, Halo, there aren't that many amazing exclusives to make me spend $500 on a device that can spot me at any time I want to. So that's that. But I didn't even really care. I mean, that's how I stand on the issue. Don't really care. But then I hear this interview come out, and by the way, this interview was before their E3 conference and before the PlayStation one. This was before. This was a pre-show interview. So you can imagine how much he probably regrets that interview now, after what Sony pulled at their conference. But that is just such a douchey thing to say. It's like, oh yeah, you're living bumfuck nowhere, you can't afford an internet connection, and that's you know, you don't have a lot of money to go out and do things, so you take solace in your $60 video game you can afford once a month. But you can't afford an internet connection. Well, too bad. You can continue to game on the 360, which we made a new one for you. But you'll be missing out on the next console piece of hardware, which eventually only games will be made for. It's not like they're continuing support for the 360 now because they're in a transitionary period. Not everyone's going to be able to buy Xbox One on release, but you give it 1 year, maybe 2 years, and there will not be games being made for the 360 anymore. Just like the Xbox, just like the PlayStation 2. That's just how it goes. It's not profitable to be making games for two systems which kind of compete with each other. You know? So his response, well, we have a hardware for that. It's called the 360. Well, what if you're still serving in the military 2 years from now when you aren't supporting the 360 anymore? Are you just telling that entire customer base to fuck off because they don't have internet? That's essentially what you just said right there. So that's what I don't really agree with whatsoever. That dude's name was Day9TV. Interesting. Oh, no, that's his clan tag. Anyway, that's it for the video, guys. Comment down below how you feel on the issue, what you thought about the video clip. And do me a favor and like the video because I need money for the new PlayStation 4. Because I want to get a PlayStation 4, I think. We'll see. Have a great day, guys.